In this video, you'll learn how to connect Replit to N8N so your code can trigger automated workflows through a webhook. Let's start inside your Replit project. Go ahead and open the project where you want to send data to N8N. This can be an existing project or a brand new one. The important thing is that you have some code you can edit and run. Make sure your environment is set to use Python if you're following along with the example I'll walk you through. The way this works is pretty simple. N8N gives you a webhook URL, and your Replit code sends a request to that URL whenever you want to trigger a workflow. You can think of the webhook as a door into your automation. Anytime your Replit project sends data through that door, N8N receives it and starts your workflow. Once your Replit project is open, you'll be writing a short script that sends an HTTP post request to the N8N webhook. In Python, the easiest way to do this is with the requests library. Most Replit Python templates already have requests available, but if you get an error saying it's missing, you can add it to your dependencies. Now, in your main Python file, start by importing the library. At the very top of the file, type import requests. This line lets your script create and send HTTP requests out to the N8N webhook. Next, you need to define the URL of your webhook. When you create a webhook node in N8N, it generates a unique URL. Copy that URL from N8N, then in your code, create a variable for it. For example, URL equals your N8N webhook URL. Replace the placeholder text with the actual webhook URL from your N8N workflow. Be careful not to share this URL publicly, since anyone with it could trigger your workflow. After that, you'll want to prepare the data you want to send. In Python, it's convenient to use a dictionary. For this example, you might write something like data equal name Alice. Here, the key is name and the value is just a sample string. You can change this to match whatever your N8N workflow expects. It might be a user ID, a form submission, a status update, or any other payload you want to pass along. Now you're ready to send the request. Use the post method from the request library and include both the URL and the JSON data. The line will look like this: response x requests.post URL JSON data. This sends a post request to your N8N webhook with the data encoded as JSON in the request body. On the N8N side, your webhook node will receive this payload and pass it into the rest of your workflow. To confirm that everything is working as expected, it helps to print out the response from N8N. Add this line right after the request: print response.status/code response.text. When you run your Replit project, you'll see the HTTP status code and any response message that your webhook sends back. A status code in the 200 range usually means the request was successful. If you see an error code, you can check the message and N8N logs to figure out what went wrong. At this point, you've connected your Replit project to N8N using a webhook. Your code sends a post request, N8N receives the data, and your workflow runs automatically. From here, you can customize the data dictionary, trigger the script from different parts of your project, or expand your N8N workflow to do more complex automations, all starting from that single request in Replit.